What's up, YouTube? What is happening? So, today we're going to be looking at the Moerman 1.0 end clip, 2.0, and 3.0, and we're going to look at the upgrades. So, this is the Moerman Liquidator 1.0 end clip. This is the original from the first generation Moerman Liquidators. As you can see on the inside, right here, it's pretty flattened out. Like it protrudes, not as much as you'll see in the newer generation model. And if you can notice there on the rounded part, look how wide that is. Now, if you look at the 2.0, and this is a pretty old 2.0, look at that. There's like creases in it. Like I use the hell out of this thing. You'll notice on the 2.0 how that inside right there, that little extra plastic, it's protruding out further than the 1.0. And you'll notice that the gap that the gap is just as wide. But then you'll notice on the 3.0, notice how little room, how tight the rubber goes in. You see that? The space has been tightened on this rounded part here, so it really grips the rounded part of your squeegee rubber. Right here. And as you can see, hold on. I'm going to pass it through this side. You see how much force it takes to really get the rubber through there. If you've ever seen guys like wet the rubber in like solution and water before pulling it through, you really got to do that now with the 3.0. I mean, look at that. So, plus if you look at that little piece of plastic on the inside, it protrudes out much further. So it's actually pushing on the rubber as this rounded part got tighter. So that's why when I say I don't use clips anymore, it's because of the 3.0 clip versus, say the 2.0. The 2.0, see, I got it through, but it's nowhere close to the 3.0 and the tightness that it holds. See, that just like pulls right out. And then you look at the 1.0 and it slides right in and right out with ease. So those are the real differences between the 3.0. And if you haven't upgraded your squeegee to a 3.0 liquidator clip, I highly advise it. It's been the best results so far. And I know there's going to be guys who say, I'm using this and that. I listen, all right, I get it. But after using the 1.0 and the 2.0, there's definitely a difference. You can't tell me otherwise. And, you go on Moerman.com and go look up the description for the 3.0 and they're going to tell you, hey, listen, we upgraded. It's different. Like, look at them. There's a stark difference. And, it's funny. I always laugh. Anytime, I do like these rubber videos and stuff like this, there's always guys get so upset. Guys get so upset and they want to prove to me that I'm wrong. Like, no, you are wrong because I do it this way. And they get like so married to this idea. And, that's not what I do. You know, I literally, like it says, like the window cleaner's journey, I'm on a journey to seek out the most efficient way. Not my way, but the most efficient way. And, sometimes that takes, I went from using last year no suds, zero suds, a subless soap with a slip agent, 36-inch squeegees on a daily basis, a bucket stand, like completely and totally different, like completely different setup in a way, completely different way of traditional window cleaning, um, to using now like the liquidator and Moerman products. So it's like, and in 6 months from now, I'll be using Maker, and I'll be on a completely different journey with completely different tools. You know what I mean? It's about adapting, and it's about reaching like the most efficient and ergonomic level, um, with each company's tools, and really seeing what the tools can do when you use them as a system. And that takes being able to adapt. That takes being able to work in a different manner, year to year. It takes a lot of adaptation. It's almost like becoming a chameleon, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. I get it. But as somebody who's continually, I look at it as evolving and growing as a window cleaner. I want to become as efficient as possible in all aspects of window cleaning with any tool you put in my hand. So, I understand when guys, you know, respond the way they do, because I've been there and I get it. But ultimately, um, ultimately, you can't grow if you stop seeking to take in new information and you don't continue to challenge yourself. You become stuck in in what you're doing and only in what you're doing. And I'm breaking that. I'm not allowing myself to be married to ideas. It's more like spending a night with them. I spend a night with a lot of ideas, and then I move forward into something new. Always changing, always evolving, always seeking new information, new knowledge. All right, guys. See you on the glass.